Look at him. Look at him. Love him. That's Spider-Man because today we're gonna talk about Spider-Man Noir, baby. This is not Spider Noir, by the way. This is just Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3 sort of action figure which I got when I was a child. Back when the movie released, and I dug this bad boy up for the video. Look at him. He looks so cute. Sitting over there. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and Nicolas Cage is one of my favorite actors. Like I just love that dude. And you could imagine my excitement when they announced Spider Noir, this project where they sort of did a fucking fusion dance with both of them, best of both worlds type shit. So yeah, let's just get into talking about it. The first thing which I really liked about Spider Noir over here was just the aesthetic. The way the decision that they made, about having it in color and black and white as well. Fucking, I don't know who the fuck on this world is asinine enough to pass up the opportunity to watch this shit in black and white, and you're gonna watch it in color? Do you have a functioning frontal lobe, sir? Do not watch this shit in color mode, alright? This shit is meant to be consumed in the true black and white, gritty noir mode. The true black and white mode, man, just elevates this experience to a whole different level. And since we're on the topic of colors, man, just the way that they've edited the show, the cinematography and everything, you can feel each and every ounce of love that they've poured into this series, man. It feels like a true project that was made from the heart. It was not riddled with like Disney fucking nonsense, business nonsense. They gotta hit this milestone, this has to be in the show, and that type of shit. This did not feel like a corporate cash grab. This actually had love behind it. And Nicolas Cage was inside it, baby. So, he's turning this shit up like he always does. So, yeah, man, as I was saying, you can just feel the love that they've poured into this series just by the way that they present it to you. It has that feel to it, man. They've captured that noir aesthetic perfectly. This early 1900s era, it's just really nice, man. It's just really nice to look at. Same goes with the sound design, all of these sounds and the soundtracks that they've chosen for this shit. And I don't know, man, just all of these things that concern with the editing and sound design and everything, perfect, man, perfect, no complaints over there. Just encapsulates you in the overall vibe that they're trying to go for, and it works. It works tremendously. And boy, Nicolas Cage, he's turning up the antics this time around as well. He's just, Nicolas Cage is one of those actors where I think he's just probably just the only actor where you can describe a movie or a type of acting just like by saying his name. Like, this is very Nicolas Cagey. You know what I mean? I don't know how to put it into words, but he brings that Nicolas Cage energy in here as well. And it was really needed, man. Like, I was concerned that the guy is old now. No disrespect to him. Come on, obviously. He's a great actor. We know that. But this role is kind of on the younger side, And even if you want to show Spider-Man in the early 40s or some shit, even then, can he portray it well? But nah, man, Nicolas Cage carries himself so well in this fucking role. Forget about the normal cagey mannerisms, just the regular old shit which you're expected to do. His acting is obviously great. Everyone in this bitch, their acting is fucking amazing, right? But sort of what I was amazed with over here is his just physicality overall in the role. Even when, sort of minor spoiler, but when he was shown as a soldier, in his early flashbacks and shit, he was fucking putting it the meat, when he was doing those action scenes. And you can see, man, he just loves this role and he's put his heart and soul in it and all of his energy. And it showed on the screen, really well. The regular shit that he does was outstanding. But the way he embodied the spider in this show, man, so fucking amazing. The little mannerisms he does when he's, sort of going through, I don't know what he goes through, but Spider-Man schizophrenia or some shit. But that was just so fucking goofy, so fucking amazing, and as I was saying, so Nicolas Cagey. And it lent itself really well to the aesthetic and overall vibe of the show as well. This is a more grittier, darker show that they're going for, and they don't hold no punches. It's really gory and shit. And this Spider-Man, man, I just forgot about it. He just slimes people out for the fun of it. He does not give a fuck if you catch a bullet or so, unless you're innocent. Then he gives a fuck. But if you're a criminal and somebody just blows your head off when you're next to him or some shit, he's not gonna give no fucks. And that was really refreshing, to be honest. I thought it was gonna take me away from the character, but I forget that this is Spider Noir. This is a completely different guy. So that was nice as well. And as I was saying, man, the Nicolas Cagey mannerisms, and he's popping and locking his joints and stuff when he's acting like a spider, like an arachnid. That is so cool, man. Because over here, what they're going for is, again, sort of minor spoiler, is that these are actual genetic experiments that people are going through. They're having transformations, biological transformations. So they're having physiological changes and reactions to these German experiments. And the way they show that there's actual arachnid DNA inside Nicolas Cage and shit like that is just so raw, and I don't know, man. It just feels really visceral and real. And as I was saying, really complements the overall aesthetic of the show. The Spider-Man suit is really nice. It's really cool, with the little lights and shit, and it feels really organic, which is what you want it to feel like. The organic webbing is really sick, and just the overall vibe. The Spider-Man, I mean, is called the Spider because of Disney nonsense in this one. And that's why they had to change his name from Peter Parker to Ben Riley. Because even I was taken aback, like, isn't this supposed to be Peter Parker? I thought Ben Riley was the clone. But it's just a stupid ass like Disney thing where Peter Parker and Spider-Man, oh, I almost bit my tongue off, aren't supposed to be associated with like vile, vulgar language like shit and asshole, stuff like that. Because this show is a kind of mature show where they're not gonna show Spider-Man just straight up fucking someone, it's not, they're not gonna go hog wild in this bitch. But they're gonna show him, as I said, killing people, and the villains are just straight up doing people dirty, slicing their throats off and shit. That's gonna be in there, and profanity as well, and not extreme profanity, but as I was saying, shit and asshole and stuff like that. So apparently Spider-Man can't be associated with that, neither can be Peter Parker, so that they had to go with the Spider and Ben Riley. Another highlight for me in regards to Spider-Man is how they showed his powers being used in a unique way. This guy is just not completely something else, but they've got their own way of showing how Spider-Man works over here, As I was saying, man, this is like actual arachnid shit going on with his body. So sometimes when he's just freaking out, he's just gonna curl up like a spider if he's knocked out or some shit. And when he gets spider sense, he's gonna do one of those, like one of these. And spider sense, dude, is being used in such a unique way over here. I think it was just probably 2 or 3 scenes, but one of the scene which really, I was like, oh wow, this is really nice, was another slight spoiler, but Spider-Man is unlocking a safe, and he's using his spidey sense to kind of figure out where the safe is like locking and shit. So that was just really cool, man. Never seen spider sense being used in that way. So the spider sense was a real cool thing that they had going on in this show. Earlier I was talking about cinematography, when I was talking about editing and sound design. And the cinematography in this bitch goes buck wild, dude. They got all sort of different dynamic ass angles and shit. Because it's supposed to be reminiscent of the old movies, and it this works perfectly with this one. And the whole story that they've got going on, that also lends itself well with the aesthetic. Of course it has to, otherwise it'll feel really jarring. The cinematography works because it's supposed to be like an old show thing, where one of the scenes is slight spoilers here. I'm gonna mention some scenes without giving away too much, alright? So if you want to hear it out, you can hear it out. So yeah, what I was saying is there was a scene earlier on in the series where Ben Riley has an associate in his office, and there are some goons searching for Ben Riley, and they're storming his office and threatening his assistant. And they've got the shot like it's from an outside perspective from a window, and it's like really reminiscent of the olden movies that you kind of see, paid homage to. And it's played out in a really nice way. It perfectly captures that energy. And scenes like that, man, they're just riddled throughout the series, and transitions as well. Oh, later on in the series, when what's her name, Cat has a sort of standoff against Silvermane. That whole scene as well with the mirrors and shit. It's also reminiscent of the old movies that old movies and possibly shows. I don't know if they had shows or something, but the material they're trying to pay homage to, they've done it perfectly, man, and it pulls you into the show. The editorial choices, the artistic choices and liberties they've taken, they've really paid off. And it's just a unique experience watching this show, man. The story is really nice, it is a really noir detective type story, as the name suggests. And it's not something really deep, to be honest. It's not a mind-bending fucking Christopher Nolan type script. But for what it's supposed to be, it does its job well. The story is kind of there to give us these characters to play off of, that's what I think. and sort of build this a little bit sort of mystery where, since this is a noir story and Ben Riley is a private investigator in this, there has to be some mystery elements. So everything it tries to do, it achieves its goal, perfectly. For me, I've heard online people say that the end felt really rushed. Personally, for me, it did not feel that way. I felt the end was fine. So I don't really have any complaints about the writing or the end. If anything, I just have flowers to give them to, man. The sort of dialogue choices they have, and the story beats that they tackle, and the overall vibe they build for the show just works perfectly for the characters and the world that they've sort of built. So I don't know, man. Just really strong writing and just a really strong world building. What can I say? And talking about world building, man, another thing which I really liked was New York itself. New York in this series oozes with character and presence, because you can't have a Spider-Man story without New York, without New York playing a big important role. New York is such a lively, bustling city that they've built, and there are many sort of small different, like that guy that gives Robbie the smokes. That's a small little character. And during the end, when the people, it's every time, but when there's a fight, the people gather around and they give their own two-piece. And the small child, what was his name, like Frankie or some shit, they feel like they belong in the city. Everyone feels like a small little cog, coming together perfectly to build this well-oiled machine. The character of New York and the small little characters you had here and there, they were just really nice and a real highlight. These are the things I feel like people don't really pay attention to, but if they're missing, you kind of feel like, what the fuck, something feels off. But here it was done perfectly. The main characters themselves, just the acting was really nice. I really liked Flint Marko, Lonnie, Tombstone. Robbie was fucking amazing. One of the MVPs of the story. That's my homeboy, man. That's my boy. I fucking loved Robbie in this one. I don't think I need to suck Nicolas Cage's cock anymore. Of course I love him. His secretary was really great, really fun. I've forgotten her name. Janet was really nice. Silvermane was really amazing in this one as well. And just, man, each and every character is just really well written, and the acting is really nice as well. There are some goofy things in this show as well. For example, Electro, the dude, they've just turned Electro into a Redditor. It seems like, because if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Whenever he's on the scene, he's like all theatery and, ooh, I'm an actor, and he's just throwing out proverbs and idioms and shit. I don't know what the fuck he does, but they've just turned Electro into like a milady type fedora wielding Redditor or some shit. But that was goofy and cool, I guess. And one of the goofiest thing that guy does is, this is a really fun spoiler, he kisses a guy to death. Like there's a scene where he's been held captive in a police station, and when he's finally free, he gets the policeman who's beaten him to a pulp, and he's just like, I don't know what the fuck he says, but he is along these lines, something like, here comes the kiss of death that awaits you, or some shit, and kisses the guy to death, man. He electrocutes him through like a French kiss or some shit. I don't know. Really goofy stuff, but really cool. And Ben Riley is really goofy in this as well. That's just like more of him being Nicolas Cage, I think. But just really, like, he does really goofy things, man. This scene is in the trailer as well, where he says like, I don't know what the fuck he says. He's like, I beat this guy to a pulp. Let's drink alcohol. Oh, by the way, one of the things that, really I can get behind is, this is a Spider-Man that drinks and smokes, baby. Let's fucking go. That's my kind of Spider-Man, dude. really like that. So, yeah, really fun, goofy stuff in this show as well, if you want that. And it's not like cringe comedy. It actually works and it's really fun. So big thumbs up for the goofy stuff as well. And I'm not gonna get into each and every nook and cranny of the things that I like and did not like. One thing which I really found annoying was Cat Hardy. Fucking hate her, man. Loves Flint Marko apparently, but the first chance she gets, cheats on him with Ben Riley. Then again, fucks, Ben Riley up, stabs him in the asshole. Goes to Flint Marko again. I don't know, man. I fucking hate Cat Hardy, man. But I guess the overall character was, in her own place, really nice as well. But it's just, man, I was just seething with anger and fury whenever she kept switching sides and shit, Those are just some minor complaints over here and there, But in general, man, I just fucking loved this show, man. When this show came out, afterwards, I did not see anybody covering this show or some shit. I thought this was a dead on arrival show. I was really scared that it was going to be really assy. But this was just really fucking fun, really, really nice, really, a real good time, and such a small show, only 8 episodes. If I had to give it a rating, I'll give it a solid 8.5 out of 10, man. The story could have been stronger. You could have leaned into the noir aesthetic, into the detectiveness of it a bit more. But the story was really nice. The plot was really serviceable. Not even serviceable, just really good plot. So I don't know, man. Just small complaints here and there. You can really sort of kick this out of the ground. In the second season if it ever gets one. But right now, really solid base. As I said, man, 8.5 to 9, somewhere in there is my rating. Can't find much to complain about. The only thing is it did not feel perfect. So that's why I'm not giving it a perfect 10 on 10. So solid show, man. Give this a go if you're a Spider-Man fan, and if you're in for something new into the superhero genre, because this is a unique experience that you're gonna get, and watch it in black and white. All right. So yeah, that's it for today. See you.